The US Open Championship is probably the most anticipated tennis event of the year. In the 2022 US Open, the sensational Polish player Iga Swiatek downed the Tunisian finalist Ons Jabeur and claimed the maiden title. It's not the first time Iga has lost a Grand Slam final. However, what happened next was very unusual. The former Grand Slam champion Kim Clijsters stepped forward to help the beaten US Open finalist. Let's take a look at what went down. First off, why the Tunisian player couldn't bag a Grand Slam victory. Making it to the US Open finals is a big deal. The Tunisian Ons Jabeur made history last Sunday by becoming the first Arab woman to make it to the US Open finals. Unfortunately, Jabeur couldn't win against the world number 1, Iga Swiatek. It was an emotionally charged game. After the match, Jabeur tearfully told Reminiscing that she pushed herself beyond her limits in the US Open final. The loss must be really difficult for Ons, as it was her second time losing a Grand Slam final. She said she felt extremely disappointed and wanted to cry a lot. Jabeur was especially upset about losing a final the second time. According to Ons, there were many reasons behind her loss in the final. She was nervous about playing in New York. According to her, the energy in New York is different. Also, she carried the fear of losing another final. So, due to her nervousness and fear, Ons' performance couldn't live up to her expectations. However, the Tunisian player displayed great optimism and enthusiasm at the end of the game. She feels she did her best and pulled off shots she never anticipated herself pulling off. It was no less than a Herculean task to play against the world's best. The game started pretty well for Jabeur, but we have seen it often happen in tennis that the players cannot maintain their momentum as the game goes on, and their performance goes down. Something similar happened to the finalist last Sunday. Let's see how the Tunisian player bounces back from her defeat and does in other matches. Up next, Kim Clijsters reaches out to Ons Jabeur and offers to help. Probably no one will deny that it's really wholesome when pro athletes help each other out after a grueling contest. It's the true spirit of sports. We saw something similar when the former Grand Slam champion Clijsters stepped in to assist Jabeur. Kim relates to Ons as she struggled in the Grand Slam finals herself. However, she was finally able to break through with her win in the 2005 US Open, and after that, she continued to win 3 more major titles. The former Grand Slam champion mentioned to Grand Slam Daily that she has asked Ons' team to give her a call. She also talked about her loss in 4 Grand Slam finals and told the media that winning the final is a matter of not giving up and working hard. Clijsters also thinks the Tunisian player is doing the right thing. She is improving, getting fitter, and getting stronger. The Tunisian statistics in the US Open final were spectacular. She had 90% serves and 100 perfect returns. Kim thinks Jabeur needs to give herself more time and wait for the ideal opportunity. Kim is sure the perfect opportunity is around the corner. The pros' support and validation must have lifted the beaten down Ons' spirits. Let's see whether the 2022 US Open finalist will take up the rare opportunity. What's more, the tennis pro urges Ons to take the call. The celebrated Australian tennis coach, great Wally Masur, urged Ons Jabeur to allow Kim to give her a helping hand. Masur had seen Kim in practices before she won championships. He said that Kim had always been a phenomenal player. Her top end was incredibly awesome. The coach thinks Clijsters' mentorship would be the breakthrough Ons needs to win championships. Wally also expressed frustration with the collapse of several established players throughout the US Open, especially in the women's circuit. The Australian coach also thinks all the women in the circuit have the potential to win the final. Above everything else, the new players must be taught how to handle high-pressure games and not let their performance go down. The coach also talked about the need to have psychologists and mentors on board. After all, tennis is a game of nerves, and the players who master their nerves win. Masur also said that it's about time the teams start looking seriously into the reasons that stop star players like Ons Jabeur from performing at their fullest potential. In the end, he He highlighted that women's tennis is thriving, healthy, and in better shape than ever before. It'll be great if Ons takes advice from one of the pros and reach out to Kim for guidance. Coming up, Ons thinks she couldn't have made it so far without her team. An athlete's quality depends on how often and well they share the credit for their success with their team members. There's no doubt that all modern sports are a team effort, and behind a well-performing player is a team that guides, assists, and mentors the athlete. Ons Jabeur also thanked several people at the end of Sunday's US Open final. Among them were her coach Isam and her husband and fitness trainer Kareem. She said her coach and trainer were very positive about her performance. They were generally very supportive and understanding, and asked Ons not to cry. Isam told the finalist they knew where they needed to focus their attention and what they needed to work on due to the game. After all, in sports, just like in life, every failure is an opportunity to learn and grow. Ons planned to have a chill afternoon post-match. She might go out for some karaoke or a nice dinner with her team. She feels it's crucial to give herself credit and celebrate making it to the 2022 US Open final. Now, moving on to other news in the world of tennis. Up next, 19-year-old Carlos Alcaraz makes history. This Sunday, the 19-year-old tennis newbie Carlos Alcaraz made history as he rose to the top of the tennis world and claimed his first Grand Slam title in the US Open over Norway's Casper Ruud. Carlos has become the world's youngest player to win a Grand Slam title. It was nothing less than a dream for the Spanish star, as he couldn't help his emotions and fell to the ground, cupping his face, before jumping up to embrace Ruud. What he did next won the hearts of many fans worldwide. He sprinted past the photographers and went straight to the box to celebrate his historic victory with his team. He later told the media that it was his dream since he was a little kid to be #1 in the world, to be the champion at a Grand Slam. He also mentioned that being only 19, it was not easy for him to come so far. He had to make some very crucial and life-changing decisions at an early age, and a part of his success is because of his team's efforts and his parents' support. Here's the exciting bit. Alcaraz made the new record by beating the one made by his idol. Before him, the title of the youngest Grand Slam champion belonged to the famous Rafael Nadal. Fans all over the world are amazed at his explosive speed, acrobatic shot making, and booming forehand. Also, one thing is sure, the young Spanish player has raised the bar very high for upcoming professional tennis players. Coming up, Serena Williams' goodbye to tennis might be temporary. Tennis fans worldwide were in shock and disbelief when the 23-time Grand Slam champion Serena Williams hinted at her return to tennis. After her last US final defeat, Serena was sure about leaving the world of tennis. It was common knowledge at that time that the champion was considering retirement. In Serena's words, she planned to evolve away from the sport. Post-match, she said in an interview that it's been a fun ride. However, minutes later, in the same interview, when she was asked about her plan to return to tennis, Williams said, "I don't know. I'm not thinking about that. I always did love Australia though. Seeing Serena Williams back on the field will be an otherworldly experience for the fans." Lastly, the 2022 US Open sets a couple of all-time records. The 2022 US Open, over 3 weeks, set 2 new all-time attendance records, surpassing the 2019 record of 737,872 attendances. A grand sum of 776,120 fans entered through the gates during the 2 weeks of the main draw. Here's the most exciting part. The total 3-week attendance at the event was 888,044, beating the previous record of 853,227 set in 2019. In Arthur Ashe Stadium's 25-year history, for the first time, every session in the stadium was sold out. It is interesting to note that the said stadium has a staggering capacity of 23,859. It won't be wrong to say that people's interest in tennis, significantly women's tennis, is increasing every season. Perhaps when it comes to engagement and people's interest interest, it is the best time in the history of women's tennis. Let's hope the numbers keep growing. That's a wrap for this video. How do you feel about Ons Jabeur's performance in the 2022 US final? Also, do you think she should take up on Kim Clijsters' offer? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.